founder, CEO, and board member of Mimik. Mimik, M-I-M-I-K, is a trailblazing hybrid cloud edge technology, and they're a gracious sponsor of the Kwai Summit and Hackathon. Check out mimik.com. Formerly, Faye is the CEO of Mobile and Vodafone Zone. All right, cool. And she's co-founded 3 technology startups, including Mobidia and now Mimik. She holds numerous patents in telecommunications, edge computing, and mobile networks. She's recognized as top 20 Canadian Tech Titan in 2022 and an Edge Woman of the Year in 2020. That was before Edge was cool. Faye also serves as a Forbes Technology Council member, advises organizations on digital transformation. With a degree in electrical engineering from Concordia, her international work spans North America, Europe, and the Middle East, driven by a commitment for digital equity and decentralized cloud innovation. Please join me in welcoming Faye Arjomandi and her talk, The Fifth Element, Operationalizing the Agentic Economy.
It's a great pleasure to be here. Mimik is a company that is formed by the first generation mobile internet people. We have some of the world-renowned experts in wireless communication, cloud, API, software systems. So we practically come from the software system background. We have seen what worked, what didn't. And we kind of saw this AI revolution coming our way. And that's what and how we created what we created for this agentic native. So let's look at a healthy society. A healthy society operates efficiently when individuals contribute to society and economy with their expertise. And they participate based on the context. At any time, I may participate in this economy with certain skill set that I have. Although I'm a person, but at some point I may be marketing, somewhere I may be technology, somewhere I may be just a person that having fun and singing karaoke. So different contexts is define our contribution to the society with different skill sets. And we do that without compromising our privacy, without practically enabling big brothers to watch every step that we make, which is not the case in the digital world today, and without losing autonomy and control. But with certain, we operate within certain framework of agreement. We heard today, Matt mentioned that we're operating with a scaled code of conduct. And that's the code of conduct that we're operating today, but tomorrow we may be in a different code of conduct. So in such society, dynamic adoption is the key. As I said, today has been one of those days that all orchestration failed for me. Basically, you know, you come with a certain agenda, you come with a certain expectation, but everything one after another failed. And what do? You adapt dynamically. Dynamic adoption is part of the way that human society works and operates. And that's how the system needs to operate in that context. It's a natural way that society operates. A society learns, adapts to new regulations, adhere with new policies, and practically share knowledge accordingly based on an event, policies, and contribute in a continuous way to society. Now let's look at agentic and AI agentics, right? Just like new citizens entering a new workforce, we are seeing AI agents and physical AI are entering the new workforce. They are practically the new citizens of our workforce, of our society, digital ones, and they are going to contribute to this digital economy. And we have a choice that either we're just gonna let one company own it all, or we each gonna have our own agents participating in this new digital economy. We have to understand that agents are not static entities. Human may look as perceived as monolith, but at every part of our brain, at any time, we are participating, we're learning differently, and we're participating differently. Mobile application, and today we have about 5.4, 5.6 million mobile applications that are running across the different app stores. They are like babies. They're constantly relying on cloud. They constantly have to go to cloud and back. Every transaction on a mobile application practically goes to cloud, where the workload is hosted, and come back where the response comes in. We just saw what happened with Zoom and how many times Zoom got disconnected. Because mobile solutions and mobile technology was designed for one person, one phone, making a phone call. Today we can hardly make that phone call, because every application on our device is equivalent to practically 100 mobile phone calls at any time. Because these mobile applications are constantly pinging the network, constantly taking bandwidth from base station, constantly need to go to cloud to workload where the workload operates and come back. 5G, 6G, 10G is not going to solve it. It's basically we're running against the law of physics, and we need to change that. So agents need to operate like adults. I decide, I ping my API and I say, hey Faye, can you lift this? Yes, no. If you can, lift it. If not, call for help. Hey Matt, my badge, my registration is not in the system. They told me to go here and fill in the information, but this system doesn't work. Can you help me? So it's a cascading of, first I call my API, then I call the API for help. If none of these things works, then I should call someone else and escalate above. That's how agents need to work. And within the context of the operation, agents need to dynamically adopt. They need to decide whether they can do the work themselves or call for help. Where is help? Is help in the same room? Is help in the same building? Is help in the same city? Or help sitting somewhere in Europe that I need to go and ask for help for? And that's what dynamic, agentic discovery and collaboration between agents with API first becomes such a big issue. You heard me talking a few times about context. Context is a frame of reference to reality. Today I embarrassed myself with someone saying hello to me. I knew the face, but I didn't know where I met the person. But I immediately thought about work. And this person said, I hosted you in my place. And I banged my head and I said, I'm so sorry, I was not even in the context of entertainment at that time. That's the context, the frame of reference to reality that says, hey, I hosted you for dinner, right? Today, context doesn't exist in mobile application because your data constantly goes to cloud and somebody is trying to make assumption of what that context is in order to make a decision, which have both the privacy issue and the fact that a lot of decisions made based on assumptions, versus at that moment I say, who am I, where am I, what is my relationship with you, what is it that we're talking about? And that context becomes very important for agentic and agentic economy. So, and just like human population, as we increase, agents are going to increase. They're going to get populated. According to McKinsey, by 2030, we're going to have billions of agents operating. And it makes sense, because if you just look at this room, how many collective expertise we have. From the number of the people in this room, we may be what, 10, 20, 50, whatever. But from the collection expertise that we each carry, is probably multiply the number of people. So every agent is going to be an expert in a specific task. And that's why these agents are going to populate and are going to be in billions of agents, where they each responsible for a process of task, and they will participate in this new digital economy. So think about it, if mobile internet was in the billions of magnitude, Agentic is going to be in trillions of dollars of magnitude. Because billions and billions of agents are processing data, extracting knowledge, and exchanging knowledge. That's what we refer to as knowledge as a service, which is no longer SaaS. SaaS was about mobile internet, SaaS was about cloud, SaaS was about putting a service up there to serve your need. So a thriving human economy needs efficient infrastructure, right? Roads, cities, shopping districts, policies, framework. A system that is flexible, resilient, energy efficient, and can provide and operate with others. And this is where the knowledge as a service is. Now, today, on one side, we talk about AI. On another side, when we talk about infrastructure, we talk about old, outdated infrastructure. Containers, orchestration, cloud infrastructure, and to my shop, software-defined infrastructure. And that's the key. Sometimes when I listen to talks and when I listen to conversations, it reminds me, and I have a lot of gray hair, it reminds me of the time of mobile application. Before mobile native application, the first generation of mobile app was about let's grab a browser, shrink it and put it on the phone. Very quickly people realized that that's not sufficient. Usability is not there, delays are too much and latencies are too much. And in fact, Facebook, now Meta, was the first company that decided they're going to go mobile native. And they said, we're going to start developing this monolith app that resides on the phone, and the workload to process this monolith app is residing on cloud. And that's how the new infrastructure and cloud native and SaaS got started. So this is what we are facing. We need new software infrastructure and new tools and new enablers. So instead of thinking centralized or decentralized, we have to think hybrid. And hybrid means flow of data, flow of workload starts from where the data source is. On device, this is where the data source is, this is where the context is, and this is where process of the workload can start. And based on the context, you can decide whether to send that traffic to another workload on the same device, to another workload on another device in the same network proximity and account, or to send it to cloud. And that's what Agentic is all about. It's about having a runtime environment, not old containerization, having an AI runtime environment, AI gateway, being able to dynamically discover resource, being able to dynamically discover agents, having zero trust security and being zero touch configuration, being able to work on any computing device over any network with any cloud without hassle, but create this dynamic choreography and the edge and utilize orchestration in cloud. So as Matt said, human-centric, because solutions with a prompt you can basically invoke and trigger a series of systems that collaborate with each other in order to drive the outcome and solve the right problem. And microservice construct is the simple and nimble construct that when you encapsulate a task, a job into a microservice, you can practically create AI-enabled systems that expand and shrink together. This is the true and real butterfly effect. Because an event, practically in the physical world, prompt, don't think of prompt sitting and typing something to the system. Think of prompt as when this door opens and triggers a sequence of events for agents to discover each other, collaborate with each other, and drive to outcome. And that's what Mimik has done. Mimik is, we have created the new software infrastructure that is a cloud-native serverless operating environment that resides and downloadable on any computing device, provide an API gateway, provide this dynamic choreography, and decouple the business logic and workload from the underlying heterogeneous communication that creates and enables that knowledge as a service. And if any recommendation I have for any of you, to start develop your agentic expert services that can be ready to enter the economy and the marketplace of the digital economy. Thank you very much.